Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. I am so excited to see your faces. I'm excited to see my face. It's another great day. So I wanted to touch base a couple things. I'm a little late in producing my video today because I had a meeting this morning with a potential cultivation client that wants to locate here in the borough, and the challenges that we're having in the borough are zoning related. So one of the major things that we have as a situation right now is that the Mat Su Borough requires a conditional use permit, and that conditional use permit is a requirement. It's I believe, $1,000 fee, but it's particular places as to where these marijuana establishments can locate in the Mat Su Borough, in a borough that is 26,000 square miles wide and has zero zoning structure behind it, right? So it has some implications. We've got some residential areas. We've got some uses that have conditional use permits attached to them. Alcohol being one of them, junkyards, whatnot. So this now is the marijuana establishment conditional use permit. One of the guidelines for this permit is where they're located and in distance to other buildings. So it starts in one section of the conditional use permit where it says 50 feet away from the nearest residence, and it is measured by the closest line of the building, or the closest spot of the building to the closest line on the lot line, in a direct line as the crow flies, right? Crows, of course, fly never straight, but whatever, direct line. And so this is 50 feet. But when you're reading through the conditional use permit, it says under the marijuana cultivation section, the cultivation facilities must be located 50 feet from a public right-of-way and 100 feet from the side and rear lot lines. Okay, so the Mat Su Borough is a very unique set in this case. There are situations, one that I looked at today, where you're driving down a typical residential street, and right across the street here you have an auto repair shop. It's got a big sign. It says, auto repair, but it looks like a house that has an auto repair in the back. Then across the street is where this gentleman would like to locate his cultivation facility. It's a 4,000 square foot home that he wants to repurpose into a cultivation facility. Okay, fair enough. That's fine, except there happens to be a big brush area in between him and another house. Big brush area, well over probably the 100 feet from front door to front door, but because it's from closest end of the property to the lot line, it is a ridiculous measurement. It means that this particular individual can't have a cultivation facility in his building under current laws because it's not far enough away from a residential facility that looks commercial. Very odd. So there's got to be something done. This isn't the first situation I've gone to. Actually, two potential licensees that I've looked at. One was Green Degree, and Green Degree is also up against another battle. See, Green Degree is in a strip mall, 3 units in this strip mall, and the closest end of the building is 460 feet from the lot line of a church, with a bunch of parking area and gravel area in between. 460 feet is a direct line. That's a problem, right? But if you took it from his front door of his establishment to the lot line of the church, then you get something like 520 or 540 square feet, or feet. So there's a problem. You need a 500-foot buffer from a protected land use, right? But how they're measuring it is inconsistent. It's not right. You can't flat out tell me that a big strip mall, and this is what they did to us in Anchorage as well, that a big strip mall who has got, multiple businesses in it, the entire strip mall, the entire building is banned because the closest corner of the building is too close to a protected land use. Doesn't make sense to me at all. It's really restrictive. And when it's hard enough to find properties that work, and so the borough, in their brilliance, they thought, well, if you're building a brand new property on bare land, then you can go ahead and do the 50-foot from a public right-of-way, the 100 feet from rear and side lot lines, and that would be fine, right? Except, who does that? Who wants to build a brand new facility when they already have existing facility, right? I don't understand that. So that's something that we're going to be looking at. I hear that the word on the street is Mr. Jim Sykes, Assembly Member Jim Sykes. Thank heavens that he was reelected, because he's a supporter of the medical marijuana world and the marijuana world. And so I was super excited to see him. I hear the rumor, I haven't seen the legislation yet, but I hear that he's introducing some legislation to change the way that distance is measured. And so I intend to bring this particular client that I went to this morning to see, to show them that this is an exact specific situation. If he were to put up a fence blocking view between, the building and his property, that should be plenty sufficient. Plenty sufficient to avoid, walking pathways and things like that. And also it supports economic development at that point, right? This gentleman wants to repurpose his rental home into a business that brings money for the Mat Su Borough. So, it makes sense to me, right? So anyway, so zoning challenges, that's where we sit. On the 18th, Mr. Sykes should be introducing that. We should see it go to public hearing on the 1st. Stay tuned. I'll keep you all up informed on that one. Two businesses that I would like to showcase today: Arctic Herbery and Raspberry Roots. Arctic Herbery's owner-operator, Bryant Thorpe. He is starting out with a kind of limited grow to start, about 500 square feet under cultivation, but he did apply for a standard cultivation license because he did want to be able to grow bigger easily. It just makes all the sense in the world. Why start out small if your space will allow you to grow bigger? And so he's really started out as a standard cultivation. He's getting super close to inspections. He says about maybe 2 weeks out from lights on, and about then 8 weeks from there from harvest. So he's bringing in approximately 6 strains, he says, seeds, clones, whatnot. And with that, he's got 2 primary strains that he's super excited to showcase. And that is a wino strain, which is a hybrid. It's a heavy sativa strain. And then his strain himself, which is his favorite, his signature strain, his Arctic Herbery signature strain, which is Northern Lights. And Northern Lights, I love it. I frankly love every time I've smoked Northern Lights. It's a phenomenal experience for me. So Bryant does have the added benefit of being the first one in town, or first one in Anchorage to have received the green light on things. He does call himself a higher end quality, kind of a boutique kind of a sale. So if you're really a connoisseur and you're looking for that quality product, you're not just out for California brickweed, well, all intents and purposes, Alaskan brickweed. If you're looking for something super quality, then Arctic Herbery is the place to go. Next one I want to showcase is Raspberry Roots. So I have followed Kim Cole since the beginning of this thing. She is so heavily involved in this industry, so heavily just hanging out with CRCL, AMIA. She really has managed to be an innovator in this industry in so many ways. As a former teacher for the Anchorage School District, she really has great foresight into how to train her employees to make sure that they give the best quality care for anyone that comes in their store, whether they're a new user or whether they're a long-time consumer. So Raspberry Roots has got a cultivation facility and a retail facility that they are going with. She gave me a couple of their strains. So they're carrying a Bubblicious, a blue cheese, a rogue blue cheese, an OG Kush, a skunk number 1, a donkey, a blueberry. No specific CBD strains on this one. She said that they're going to package it and carry it in whatever it comes to. So whether it's a 1 gram package, a 2 gram package, a 3.5 gram package, 7 gram package, or an entire ounce, you've got a prepackaged and a deli style option. So you'll be able to choose your own option, or just simply pick up the prepackaged that they give you. And so, of course, one of the things that she's going to be selling, that most of these places will be selling, are pre-rolls. Pre-rolls are pretty hot and popular. It's a great $10, $15 way to get a joint and then, walk out of the building and have just that instant kind of response instead of having to load your bowl or do doing edibles or whatever. She'll be located in Midtown. She also touts very quality product, and the bartenders will be the best trained in the city. And with her background, I 100% support that. So those are the two that we're showcasing today, Arctic Herbery and Raspberry Roots. I'm not sure how much phone calls I'll be able to make today, so maybe tomorrow we'll see a couple more or one more that we'll be able to showcase. That is my video for today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.